Well, yeah, you hear stories of some really bad flats out there.
There's a rather large hole in the side of the house, which has somehow grown bigger, probably because of rats.
I've had people throwing like microwaves through closed windows out from double-storey buildings and smashing that sort of thing.
And I can also hear rats in the ceiling at night make a lot of noise, squeaking and running around.
Have you had any problems with your landlord?
Yeah, he quite often looks in our window. No, he actually does.
Are you serious?
No, I'm actually completely 100%, yeah.
Did you complain to anyone about it?
No.
I found mould on my pillow once.
Dunedin housing is just terrible.
This is Paul. He's my landlord.
Have you had any problems with your landlord at all this year?
No, my landlord's been very good.
We had one flat where the flatmates were getting sick after moving into the house, and they realised that all the walls were fake walls and behind it was rubbish from years and years and years, and two of them couldn't stay there because their asthma was getting so bad and had to go stay in the backpackers.
I've had quite a few tenants actually. The first thing I noticed about tenants is that they don't give a shit about the house.
Nifty 50s in the kitchens doing donuts and things.
Window got smashed and had to go find the original glass and $160 for it.
I had a mental breakdown and ended up in hospital.
Staircases falling apart.
There happened to be a cannabis plant in the kitchen. I get busted.
Carpet missing.
No power, no hot water.
Mould growing.
Bad experience with a tenant. He is stupid.
What sort of problems have you had with tenants?
I had the guy who shot me when I asked him to leave. They broke the windows, they chuck stuff everywhere.
There's some really atrocious flats.
Oh, fuck yes.
This is Sue. She moved into the Dunedin North area in the early 1980s.
You were looking for flats that had a lot of things wrong with them.
Yeah.
Now when I got here there were buckets coming down through the roof. I was paying $26 a week rent for the house.
Back in the day, that's interesting. Interesting indeed. In fact, in the early 1980s, it wasn't too hard at all to come by a room for less than $20. Today's average rent of around $90 a week reflects the astronomical rise in rent prices over the last several decades. Do you have any idea what people around you pay?
They're 120 across the road.
Yeah.
I think they're 90 over there. Probably around 100 over there. I think Livingston's got them up to 95.
That's the thing about the flatting in Dunedin is it used to be really, really bad and really, really cheap, and now it's just bad and expensive.
According to OUSA, one of the root causes of the dramatic price rises is that many students feel the need to sign leases early in the year due to the misinformation disseminated by landlords that they'll miss out on a flat if they leave it too long. As a counter-strategy, in May of each year, the Students' Association runs its annual STOP campaign, which is designed to help students consider their options before rushing into signing a lease.
So the STOP campaign is stop signing up for substandard or overpriced flats, and the idea is behind that is that it's actually a consumer market at the moment because there's more flats than students.
The effect of students signing up for flats early is that it creates a false demand, which enables landlords to charge a higher rent than is actually justified. So the flat price goes up because they say, look, all these flats are being filled in August, when in reality there's plenty of empty flats out there.
I agree with the Students' Association that students need to work together to fight against this manipulative information that's going out because they are being exploited. Students are a huge benefit to the Dunedin economy and they don't deserve to be treated like that.
Unsurprisingly, many landlords are against the STOP campaign.
Yeah, look, the STOP campaign, I can understand where the students are coming from, but it creates a situation where late January, early February, where if you haven't got a flat, you're back into town, you're running in to get the drips and the drabs.
Over last year, over 130, I only had 2 or probably 3 properties that weren't filled.
Okay.
Maybe after March.
If you're going to sign up later on, or early on the year, and not sign up August or September to get the best flats, I think you'll find that you might have a hard job getting a pretty smart flat.
Well, you should have come like a week earlier. We had the whole backyard that was just full of rubbish.
How much do you guys pay for this flat?
85.
45.
That's our heat source.
Yeah, that's our only.
It's the only heater that came with the flat?
Yeah.
So this is the shower in here?
Shower. Casual.
Little piece of shit, you can't even like bend over him. It's real little.
Yeah. Tiles all come up because we all just jump out, as you can imagine.
Like you put the ball here and it'll roll to the other end.
That's nuts. Yeah, man. Oh, I don't know. There's as you can see, pretty see. There's a couple of holes in here. Here's quite a good one. Like.
Oh, right. It's a proper hole.
Yeah.
What is actually there? Like, what's underneath that carpet?
Nothing.
A report issued by Presbyterian Support Otago was used as a basis for this documentary. The report surveyed 104 low-income private rental households in 2004, and it presented some worrying findings. 57% of respondents said that their flat was in urgent need of repair. 65% of respondents rated their property to be not warm enough or uncomfortably cold. And less than 5% of properties surveyed were built after 1978, when it became mandatory to insulate new homes. Some of the findings of the report were: old age is a major feature of the private rental housing stock, which, associated with poor build and deferred maintenance, makes a segment of this group ripe for replacement. Dunedin homes are cold. New studies are showing health improvements from heated and insulated homes. The report also advocates a voluntary warranted fitness scheme for housing in Dunedin, which, in the words of the report, will mean tenants are guaranteed quality and landlords can attract quality tenants. Otago University have just announced a comprehensive grading system for student housing, similar to a hotel star rating. The backers of this scheme believe that this will allow students to make more informed decisions about where they choose to live and encourage landlords to provide quality housing in order to remain competitive in the marketplace.
Yeah, well, look, I think it's great if they're going to grade flats and students and tenants are going to get a better quality flat. I think that, yeah, there's some merit in that. But I mean, you know, it's all about supply and demand too. I mean, look, you know, most landlords are good guys and good girls, and you know, that they have neat and tidy flats, well maintained, and you know, if they're good flats, they'll rent easily, and you know, the landlord dictates what price they'll be.
There have been other recent encouraging developments. With the cost of living skyrocketing, many students have had to borrow the maximum of $150 a week to pay for rent and food. In many cases, this is simply not enough.
Why is this important?
But this may be about to change with Helen Clark's announcement of a universal student allowance from 2012, which would ease the financial burden that today's students face.
We are now committing to a firm timetable for abolishing the parental income test on student allowances.
During the making of this documentary, we crossed paths with a whole host of students, some of whom were living in conditions not unseen in third world countries. We discovered that there were plenty of flats in North Dunedin that are not only poorly maintained, but are frankly disgusting. We found that many landlords were not upholding their end of the deal, while others were being taken for a ride by their unruly tenants, who were more than happy to soil their homes. But it's not all bad. Where the situation goes from here remains to be seen.